What's Uncommon Fossil, and a quick introduction to today's video. This is my first standard legal MTG Arena deck. I was planning on uploading it in about a week from now after I finished with the videos, which I'm still doing every week on Wednesdays on the New Player Experience. But look, I'm uploading this on a Saturday, and it's a long weekend in the United States, and live just isn't working right, and sometimes I find I just need a break from live when it's not working right. So this is a budget-friendly deck, a very beginner-friendly deck, and if you want to try something besides live, just because in this case you might not even be sick of Pokemon, you want to play Pokemon but you're sick of live, this is something. Try MTG Arena, and this is a good starting deck. So jump to that video that I made to upload later, but like I said, upload it earlier just because. Let's Uncommon Fossil. Today I want to present a mono red deck. This is my recommended deck for new players in MTG Arena. After you finish the new player experience, you will have some resources. You should have enough resources to craft this deck. One thing I'll point out, there are a number of free codes you can get online. If you need to know where they are, just let me know in the comments, and I will add the link to within this video description. But otherwise, it's pretty easily searchable. So you'll have enough wild cards to craft this deck. This deck takes 12 commons, 20 uncommons, and 10 rares. No mythics. I haven't been playing this account all that long, and after crafting this deck, the cards I needed for it, I still have a decent amount of 15 commons, 19 uncommons, 8 rares, and 7 mythics still in my collection. So of wild cards still, so it's not bad. So we'll get into the deck and go through what it is, and then we'll take a look at the deck in action. So going through, it's mostly 4-ofs. I'll click on the mana curve for this deck is pretty insane. 16 ones with a mana cost of 1, 24 with mana cost of 2, and no spells to cast with a mana cost above 2. 3 and up don't exist in this deck. It's pretty insane that way. I'm not sure if I played a deck with a mana curve is this extreme, tilted towards the low end, but it also makes it easy, which means we can get these spells cast fast and early. That's really important in this game. All right, so but just the hitting the lands, 18 basic mountains, basic land mountains. It's just a mono red deck, and then 2 Mishra's Foundry. It provides a colorless mana, which a mana of no particular type. I actually don't know how that's phrased. But it also has the ability for 2 mana. It becomes a 2/2 artifact creature that can attack that turn, and then you can pay an extra mana after that when it's attacking, and it gets +2/+2 to its stat line until the end of turn. Now, don't activate that ability until you've actually begun the attack phase. It will allow you to activate that ability earlier, but it doesn't actually go into play. So anyway, so there's that. So it's a nice little option there. All right, getting into these are the 1-cost cards here. Kumano faces Kakkazan, however one says that. It does 3 things. First, when you play it, the turn you play it, it does 1 damage to your opponent, and a Planeswalker if they happen to have that. But basically, it just does a little ping 1 to your opponent. And again, we're pinging a lot of little damage, but it adds up fast. Then the next turn, when you cast your first creature spell the following turn, it gets a +1/+1 counter on it. Quite nice there. And then the third turn after you play it, it turns into this etching of Kumano creature card, which has haste and a 2/2 stat line. So a lot of value out of this 1 mana card. Then we have Monastery Swiftspear, 4 copies of this as well. 1/2 stat line. It has haste. It has prowess. Prowess is a big deal in this deck. So haste means you can attack the first turn you play it. Again, if you're new, trying to figure these mechanics out, when you hover over the card, it tells you what it is on the side. Also in the game, when you're playing your opponent's deck, when you're playing up against your opponent, their deck may have some mechanics you don't know. I know I'm still running it. I will run into that for sure at times. And just hover over the card, read what it says. That's just the way to learn it. So has haste. You can attack the turn you cast. It doesn't have summoning sickness is what that means. And then it has prowess. whenever you cast a non-creature spell, this creature gets +1/+1 until end of turn, so quite nice there. So every time you cast a non-creature spell, it goes from a 1/2 to a 2/3, and so on. So quite nice. And we have a lot of cheap spell, so potentially we can get, activate this prowess multiple times on a single turn. We have an instant here. An instant means you can play at any time, which is quite nice. And it Monstrous Rage, the target creature, which you're targeting your own creature, gets +2/+0 until end of turn, and you create a monster roll token to it, which gives it +1/+1 and trample, and that sticks to it even be after that turn. So you get the +1/+1 that stays, and a +2/+0 for that turn. So again, super nice. And with prowess, you're even, upping the damage that turn even more. Then we play 4 copies of Play with Fire, super good card as well. For one red again, it is instant. It does 2 damage to any target. Can be a creature, can be your opponent, can be something like a planeswalker. If it deals to 2 damage to the player, your opponent, I guess you could damage yourself too, but you're not going to want to do that. Then you scry 1. Scry is really good because one of the things, if you're coming from the world of Pokemon TCG to Magic, TCG, Magic the Gathering, TCG, one of the differences, Pokemon, there's a lot of deck search. You don't search your deck. You don't have a lot of extra draw. So scrying helps in that. Within the Magic world, you scry, you look at the top deck of your card, you can put it back on the top of your library, that's your deck, so you know what you're going to draw next time you draw a card, or you can put it on the bottom of your deck. So that's so you probably won't see it again that game. So just a nice way to help control what you draw in the game. Then we're getting into, these are all the 2-cost cards. There's more of these. 2 copies of Antagonize, another instant. A target creature gets +4/+3 till end of turn. So very, very substantial stats. And of course, don't forget with prowess, it's even more beneficial. Demonic Ruckus is an enchantment. The enchantment creature gets +1/+1 and has menace and trample. And it has an effect when it gets discarded from play as well. And you can plot. I'm not going to worry about that stuff now, but just focus on the simple parts. Your creature gets +1/+1. You get menace. Menace is nice. That means your creature can only be blocked by at least 2 creatures. So reduces your opponent's ability to block, kind of forces them to do certain plays that they might not want to. +1/+1. Of course, trample is really nice as well. The creature that if it deals excess damage after being blocked, then what's the rest of the power still does damage to the player. So that's really good. So blocking. So if they block your creature with just a 1/1 little artifact or something, boom, we blow through the 1/1 card and we deliver most of the damage to the player still. So very nice there. Fugitive Codebreaking is a creature, 2/1 stat line. It has prowess and haste. So haste, you can attack the turn that it comes into play. And then prowess, every time again we cast a non-creature spell, it gets +1/+1 till end of turn. Some other things in the text, you can read through that once you play the deck. Not gonna, in the gameplay maybe that'll come up. We'll see. Sorcery here with Highway Robbery. Sorceries are more limited into when they can play during the game. Instants can be played pretty widely, so just be aware of you got to play the sorceries at the times when you're allowed to do it, so you can discard a card or sacrifice a land. Those are good things. Those are okay. You usually have something you can get rid of, and then you draw 2 cards. Like I said, there's not a lot of excess draw in Magic, so really good. And of course, with the prowess, it's a non-creature spell, so we're building up the damage or other creatures are doing. Lightning Strike, really, really awesome card. 2 mana here. It does 3 damage to any target. Can be a creature, can be a player. That 3 damage is nice. It's an instant, and of course, prowess just makes it all that much better here. Slickshot Show-Off. Here, this one is a rare and well worth it. It has flying, it has haste. So flying creatures can only be blocked by creatures that either have flying or reach. Flying, of course, means it can attack with flying as well. A reach creature, which is a lot of times are spiders. They're not flying creatures, but they have the ability to attack into the air. And then it has haste, so it can attack the turn you cast it. And whenever you cast a non-creature spell, again, it's similar to prowess, but slightly different. It's any non-creature spell, so it's a little more open up. There's actually more things that trigger this. It then gets +2/+0 till end of turn, so that's really nice. A lot of decks can't block it, so even doing a few 3 damage, 1 damage over the course of the game, it just adds up. So 4 copies of that, 2 copies of Wrenn's Resolve, a sorcery, exile the top 2 cards of your library. You can play those cards until the end of your next turn. So you can play them the turn you play it, or the following turn. Again, there's not a lot of draw. You don't get search in the game for the most part. So these cards are good. And of course, with the prowess and stuff, it boosts your damage. The one basic piece of advice is if you're going to play this sorcery, don't play a mana from hand first, because a lot of times with this card, you may get or a land from hand, you might draw one of your lands in one of those 2 cards will be a land, or sometimes even both cards will be lands, and you want to play the cards that are set to the side with Wrenn's Resolve first before you play the ones in your hand, because those you can play later in the game. Scorching Shot, another sorcery. It deals 5 damage to a target creature, so big damage there. Just 2 copies because it's restricted to another creature, but quite nice there. And then the lands, as I said. So pretty simple deck list. You're just getting a lot of cheap spells, getting a few creatures in play, and getting a lot of non-creature spells, and just that damage adds up very quickly. So we'll jump in to the ranked format and see the deck in action. All right, so jumping in to play a ranked game here. The way to find the ranked, by the way, is you click the play button. You get your different play options. You're going to find a match. There's play and there's ranked. Make sure ranked is selected. You selected the game type. I'm playing standard. You can do these other formats as well. You can choose best of 1 or best of 3. I've never done best of 3, so just best of 1. Then you're going to highlight the deck you want. Right now, there's only one. This is the only legal deck I have. Mono Red wins, and we click play, and then we see how long it takes to get in and actually find a game. All right, so going first, so taking a look at the deck. This is okay. This is actually a pretty good hand. Better than most hands, actually. So I'll chuck in the Monastery Spearswift so I can give the poke this turn. Could have played with fire. Play with fire is nice as well because I do scry, which is very useful. So let's see. Do I want to just cast a creature with... I guess I'll do the haste flying. I'm trying to think through how I do it. I could antagonize and do bigger damage this turn, but I think this is the path to take forward. I'm liking this. Now I'll have 3 energies in play. 3 lands in play. So cast the land. This is actually pretty good. All right, so I'm going to... I think I'm going to antagonize this turn and hope... otherwise I could... Yeah, so I will play with fire first, see what my options are there. All right, that's a good card. Keep that. I will now not cast a creature spell because I should have cast that because these have haste and I would have cast them before. But I will attack and I will wait to use my antagonize. I missed. I didn't block at all. Okay, well that's all right. I'll just do this. I thought I missed the phase for my opponent's going real fast, passing quickly. So I missed. Okay, red, white, and green mana for this deck. So. Okay, look, the goal. Look, I've got them down to 10. I should have them actually lower than that in their life because I did make a misplay. All right, so I've got 3 lands, so I think I want to blow up that guy. The mouse is acting a little weird here. I will Lightning Strike to their creature, and then I'm really close to... Do I win the game this turn? I just might. If not, and I do. So I made a misplay, but the red deck, mono red wins, just goes fast and goes hard, which is super awesome. So a good example of the deck winning that game. All right, so I have a match. I am going second this game. Let's take a look at the mulligan here. It's risky because I'll keep this 7. This is probably... I probably should have mulliganed, I gotta say. I would love to... I can't cast a card my first turn, which I usually can do. I can usually cast some type of spell, which I can't do unless I draw something. All right, well, land isn't bad. I don't want to increase my opponent's stat line, so end turn. Let's see. So I think I want to... So obviously I'm not going to buff their creature. They're just going to give me a poke, which makes a ton of sense. And they still have 2 mana they haven't used, so they have something they could do. They're considering, or the game's at least pausing for them to consider. So I'll cast a land, and we'll see what happens here. I need to get a creature in play. Yeah, the exiling actually might be good for next turn. So flying is good. It's my only creature card. This is the problem. If they counter this creature card, I really should have mulliganed. See what happens. If they wipe out this creature, it's probably just a game loss for me. And I'm guessing they have something to counter me. And they're just weighing up whether it's worth it or not. Because I only give them a poke of 1. It's not huge, right? I don't know that I want to Wrenn's Resolve this turn. All right, so Menace. Okay. I would like to... All right, I think I do want to... I'll take out this creature here. Just kind of hurt them a little bit there, and I will... Tiger creature gets... And he gets a monster token as well. So, getting a decent-sized poke this turn for sure. 8, that's the nice thing with this deck. Big damage, but we'll see what happens here. It's my only creature, so if they destroy my creature, I'm very sad. I do have Wrenn's Resolve on my turn, so I'm ahead. In terms of life, I'm decently ahead, but I'm not getting creatures. So okay. And you cast this, you play the Wrenn's Resolve before playing a land. I didn't have land anyway, but I want to see what I draw. Okay, not great, but not terrible. I mean, it's not bad actually, because I do have another creature for next turn. I would have hoped to have drawn a land, but that's okay. My turn ends. They have an option to do something, right? That's where the game's pausing. Certainly they. So. Okay, so they're starting their turn. So I'm gonna play my creature to start my turn, I would think, and then I probably cast. Let's see. Not sure what I do. My opponent still has options. Okay, that's at the beginning of their end step, so that's not a factor right now. So I want to do this. And I do get the buff from the Kumano. Okay, and I should make this play, I'm pretty certain. I have an option. I could have cast this spell, or I could have cast that spell. Question is, what are my opponent's options? Are they going to blow up my creature here, right? I don't fully know. So so now he has trample and stuff. So they blow me up, and that's bad news. Very bad news. So, you know, what can I do? So this is where I don't have I have certain decks. There's decks that do a lot of countering that give this mono red a hard time. And if you don't win fast with mono red, it usually leads to a loss. And you know, I'm just not getting going like I need to with this deck. I think I want to. I think I want to make this play, and I'll get rid of the other Highway Robbery. I think I like the other cards. I think. All right, it's not what I wanted to get at all, but could be worse for sure. All right, I will play with fire here. See, get 2 cards, right? I just need to kind of. All right, that's not bad actually. I mean, I don't love it, but it's not the worst thing in the world. You know, I might be cobbling together. I'm kind of cobbling, but I feel like I'm hobbling more than cobbling together a win. I feel like I'm hobbling towards a loss. I'm ahead, right? And they're 5. They're down to 5 life. I have 14 still. I'm just, they're probably gonna blow up my creature again. So they had, the counters just eat me up though. It's tough, right, with this deck. So although I could do, I think I just do. I think this is all right. Actually, do I have? Let's see what happens. Can they counter me this turn? I don't know. If they can't counter me this turn, So I guess I attack. I'm gonna damage them. Might as well get up my stats. So now if they don't block, okay, so there we go. So got the win. I wasn't certain. They were countering me a decent amount, but I was able to maintain the lead there, and I've now completed. I managed to rank up too, so this deck allowed me to rank up to Bronze Tier 2. Quite nice, pleased about that. When I go to the home screen, I will see now that I've gotten a Lord of the Rings pack, which is very nice. Got some other rewards from things, and now what's it want me to do? Again, it wants me to rank up, so it wants me to continue to rank up. So at this point, I'm pleased with the mono red deck, and I think it's a good choice. I think I said in the intro, look, it's affordable. You should be able to craft it early on, and it's pretty straightforward to play. You get going, you're going to win a lot of games. Your opponent, if you don't win fast, your opponent tends to overrun you. That last game, I was nervous there because it was kind of on the fence, seeming like my opponent was going to hold me off long enough, but I was able to get through, got the win. And again, just take a look at the deck. It's a really good beginner friendly deck, I think, all around. So pick up, play your favorite TCG and have some fun, and take care.